Hi, my name is Robert. Please read the comments in the About section of this video. It has valuable information and updates. My YouTube channel has a disclaimer video that I encourage you to watch. And please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you found what you're looking for. Thank you very much for watching. In this video, I'm going to be opening this Bauer 8-inch bench grinder with LEDs, the 4.8 amp 3/4 horsepower. And we'll see how this thing works. I'm going to primarily use it to clean up hardware and grind away carbon off of valves from cylinder heads that I'm rebuilding. I rebuilt Volvo cylinder heads. Open the box, it had that stuff there packed on top of this styrofoam. In the styrofoam there's a bench grinder with look like a dry pack, so let me pull that out of there, set it on the workbench. As listed on the box, this thing weighs 15.5 kilograms, 17 kilograms packed, so it's about 34 pounds. Not too light, so get a good grip on it. Let me go ahead and take everything out of the plastic. Just trying to pull that stuff out of the plastic, gosh dang thing bit me. Has strong staples in there, so get you some scissors, cut that stuff out. I just start pulling on the plastic and a staple went through my finger. Not for children. So one package had this hardware in it, one package had these brackets in it, another package had these brackets in there, one package had that face shield in there, and another one had a face shield or spark shield, wherever you want to call it. Let me grab that light. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, the light is connected to it already, LED supposedly, and then you have your power cord back there. Now I don't see any bolts to bolt it down through my table, so I'll have to get those myself. But let me go ahead and breeze through the instructions and show you how to install these shields. And I'm going to take one of these sand and grinding wheels off and put a brush wheel on that I purchased from Home Depot. I actually purchased one from Harbor Freight, but I can't locate it, so picked up one while I was in Home Depot. That's my serial number for my part there, and I guess that's my model number, so I need to submit for my warranty information. Woo woo. 0 there, that will be off, that will be on. I'm going to go ahead and say this, but this is a warning that the improper use of this piece of machinery could result in serious bodily injury, possibly death. So do yourself a favor, don't kill yourself. As mentioned, the first thing I'm going to do is replace this grinding wheel. The instructions say make sure that the grinding wheel or whatever wheel you install is rated for at least 3600 RPMs and it's got an arbor of 5/8 inches. And the one that I picked up is of course 8 inches. That's the maximum size for this grinder. It has a 5/8 arbor. It's a 1/2 inch wide. It could be no wider than 1 inch. And then the speed rating on it is 4500 RPMs. You can see that there. So this is an acceptable wheel for this. It has a directional turn on there, so you could see if your wheel you're installing will have on there. And let's go ahead and get this side cover off so we can get this installed. First thing you want to do is make sure the unit is turned off and it is unplugged from the power source. First thing I'm going to do is get a Phillips screwdriver and unscrew all 3 of these Phillips screws so I can pull this away. Now if you got that other stuff mounted and installed, you need to remove all that. Since we haven't installed that, I don't have to remove all that other stuff. After it's unplugged from the power source, you remove those 3 screws. After all 3 screws are removed, you want to hold this on when you remove the last one because this can fall off. Go ahead and lift this away from your bench grinder. Next thing you want to do is put a wrench on that and unturn it while you hold this steady counterclockwise. That's 24 millimeters, and I was able to hold the stone steady and break that loose. It does not have a torque value in the instructions, so just make sure it's tight. Unscrew the nut, and next we're going to try to wiggle this off of here, holding that disc washer. So that's what I'm taking off, and let me open up my package on that and get that installed. You could decide which one you want to take off or which side you want your wheel on or whatever. This is 36 grit. The one I'm leaving on there is 60 grit, rated for steel and stainless steel. Couple things on my wire wheel I'm installing. Number one, it had these vinyl sleeves on it, or plastic sleeves. Those did not fit over my post, so I had to remove those. Another thing is, my mounting of my wire wheel is a 1/2 inch thick, not a full inch. So I'm going to get some washers to make up that 1/2 inch thick. I have some. Let me go grab them real quick. These are these washers I'm going to use to make up the difference. They look a little big for the bore, but I'm going to try to center them some kind of way. I should be alright. Let me get these in place and get this thing tightened up. Put a couple washers on the inside. I put double-sided tape to hold them in place. Couple washers on this side. Now I'm going to put this cover guard back on and finish the rest of the assembly process. Read your instructions, and especially the safety notices and warnings. These are called work rest support brackets. When you put those on, you want to put those on with a washer, lock washer, and nut. This one here is for the right side. This little gear thing point toward the inside, and that one there is for the left one with the gear thing there. So put those in, tighten them down. They look like 1/2 inch or 13 millimeters. I'll confirm that here in a second. But you want to put the nut down, the lock washer on, then the flat washer on, and screw those in there. Start those screws in by finger. Don't tighten them down, because you want to make sure these are positioned where you need them. Next, you want to install this rest support. It'll go on here like this. That little teeth area will mate with that, and you position it where you want it. Now, they got this one on the left side here on that finer grinding wheel, and you use these wing nuts. You got a washer on there and a lock washer on there, and screw it in there. Snug it down in the position you need it to be in. Once you have these snug down the angle you want it, now you want to position them in as close or far away from the stone or wire wheel that you want. You don't want too much gap there, because you don't want nothing falling down in there getting jammed. So put that where you need it. Now you want to tighten these down so that that is held in the position properly. Do that on both sides. The instructions say you want no more than 1/16 of an inch of space in there. So you want that thing very close, like I have it on both sides. Next, you want to install the spark guards, making sure they're about 1/16 of an inch or so from your wheels as well, and they use those little screws there. So these screws with the washers and lock washers on, you bring this up here, you set it up here like that, put those two screws in it, and push them right before they touch your grinder and snug them down. So this part is going to rest against right here, and that'll be your spark guards installed. I used a 5/16 socket or 8 millimeter to tighten those down, or you could use a Phillips screwdriver. Just snug this stuff down. If you tighten it too tight, you're going to strip out the metal threads in the casing. Just snug them down so that they're tight. Don't over tighten them, you'll destroy it. Last but not least, you're going to install your eye shield. You take this nut here, you can see it's got that square peg on it. You stick that through there and twist it so the square peg is straight. Then you take your shield, set it over that screw. Then you put the washer on, the lock washer on, and screw this on by hand and adjust it to where you need it, and you'll be good to go. Tighten it down, hand tight. Don't over tighten it and mess up any threads or anything. So there you have it. Bolt, eye, spark guard, washer, lock washer, wing nut. Now that you have it totally assembled, it is ready to use. Spin this. Make sure nothing's grinding on your wheel or your wire wheel. Your guards are clear. Your lights up here. Your switch is off. You're ready to plug this in. Now this thing is heavy and it's got some, it feels like rubber feet on it, so it won't slide around. But I highly recommend that you mount it so you can put a pencil or something down in there to mark where you want to mount it to your workbench or to a stand. I've seen these mounted to stands, but I recommend you get it mounted, not let it just sit and float around on your bench. Because while this thing is sitting there and it's running and you're using it, you may be paying more attention to what you're doing than if this thing is moving and walking off of a workbench or table. Also, remember to use gloves. If you're grinding screws and stuff, use vice grips or pliers to hold that stuff, and use eye protection. You don't want sparks or anything like that flying off of here, getting into your skin or into your eye, and especially these wire wheels. I've seen these brushes off the wire wheel actually come out and stick into fabric on my clothes and gloves and stuff like that. So use a good pair of leather gloves and definitely wear eye protection. So we're going to plug this thing in, see if it works, and see if this light works. I don't see a switch for the light, so it may come on every time you turn the switch on. I have it plugged in. There is no speed control. It's on or off. So I'm going to put my hand on this, hold it down a little bit, and flip the switch on. And there it is. It is working. And it is vibrating. You can see things moving across the table. So don't let nothing get sucked into it and cut or grind anything you want. This is not blowing a lot of air, but a wire wheel is blowing a lot of air. So just know that, and the light came on as soon as I flipped the switch on. So you can aim your light on your work area there. Looks like some of my bristles from my wire wheel touched and scraped. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.